today it's another day where I'm pissed off, and it's because toward the end of the shift, something happens to where coverage becomes bad. And I don't understand why I have to be left by myself when there's 6, 7 people in the team. But anyway, not gonna talk about that now because maybe there was something going on that I'm not aware of and it's just the way it had to be. But when that happens to me yesterday and today, there's something that I'm not clear on. So anyway, today, very appropriately, I get stressed less. Let's see what words of comfort it brings today. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Oh my God, this is actually very relevant to what I went through today because the last half hour of my shift, I was by myself because the other cashier went on her break, which is perfectly fine, totally cool. You need it, go for it. But once again, I'm left by myself and I'm like, I got 2 members of management plus 2 supervisors plus 1 cashier who allegedly arrived, who never got on her register, and I saw her talking endlessly to others. That's what I mean when I say maybe there was something going on that I wasn't aware of, which is strange because that kind of thing is always communicated to me. But anyway, I was observing that was happening. And I guess something that I should disclose as well is that with this particular person who had just arrived, she has a record of not jumping immediately on her tasks. If she has to cashier, she doesn't immediately get on her register. Whereas someone like me, I guess because I'm the fastest, it's like I arrive, you say, hello, how are you? And you immediately throw me on a register. And this was before I had the semi-exclusive shift of being the first person to get there. This person has a record of doing that and everybody is aware of it, but what are you doing to mitigate it? And when I have management making comments about how we're holding it down pretty well despite you being by yourself, I can't help but look at it as, oh, okay, you put me under these challenging circumstances because you know I can keep shit afloat. Well, I'm choosing I don't want for that to be the way of things. So the way that this applies is when I saw more than 2 people standing in line, the carts were not even that full. They were like mid full. I pick up my phone, I dial management, and I go with this tone, is there another cashier available to open up? When I say it like that, very firm, very direct, strict, no soul to my voice and absolute assertiveness, you know I'm pissed. My supervisor who answered me, she was like, oh yes, I got you. I don't like being that way. It's not how I am. I'm not proud of it. I was raised with a tone like that. It makes me shit myself. It puts me in a bad mood. It makes my blood run cold. It's not how I talk and how I am, but it's insane that it takes me 3 days off to recover from one shift. I remember a time when I could be going back for more, going back for more, going back for more, because we actually had a functioning team. And by functioning, I mean people were there at the time they're supposed to be there, doing what they're supposed to do. Management has the nerve to tell me that I need to work on my punctuality, because what's happening is, you guys know that I run 2 businesses on the side. If I have a long ass shift ahead of me, what I do is I get as much done in the morning and take with me as much in the morning without reducing my sleep time and without skipping nibbling something for breakfast. And I'll do all that before I head in. And sometimes I punch in 5 minutes past my time, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, but I'm never officially tardy. Management gets mad because in the morning they're by themselves, and then I'm like, well, what about me? Have you thought about how that feels like on me when it's the daytime and it's really busy and I'm by myself? And I have heard you make comments about my job performance being good enough to where you can get away doing this shit. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of being put in a position where it's not like you're setting me up for failure because I know how to survive busyness. But just because I can doesn't mean I want to or it's the right thing to do. I don't mind being relied on. I mind being depended on. There's a difference. Reliability is that you can count on this person. Dependability means It's up to this person. If not, it collapses. That is what doesn't make sense to me. And yesterday, I don't understand why I had to be by myself for 4 hours. I'm still salty about that. And there were plenty of people there. So, anyways, I'm glad that I have a story fresh out of the oven, such as today, to tell you, yeah, I picked up my phone, I called whoever I had to call, and they made it happen. And I've never been afraid to ask for help, but in the past, I didn't always resort to requesting help because sometimes I wanted to see how far I can make it by myself. That's how, during times of adversity, is when I develop my skill. That's when I find creative ways to mitigate a challenge, or how I can refine my skills. And not avoiding those tough situations also prepared me for when those situations are unavoidable. I know how to exist within it and how to react during it. But just because I can do that, because I have put in 11 years of work on that, doesn't mean I want to continue to see that. So that's the difference. Well, there you guys have it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know if you have experienced something like this in recent times. And if it's not recent, but you have experienced it, I still want to hear it, because it's stories like this that help me stay strong. Even though I know I don't need it, because at the end of the day, I still get hungry. I still need to have power at this place and running water and stuff like that. I'll continue to show up at the place, but if I can hear something to make it less painful, I'm here for it. Something inspiring.